Let's pull this out with all my might and see what we've got. The No Fate channel, checking in. On this episode of Dad's Old House, I'm going to be going over the quickest and easiest way to remove rust, whether that is from tools, bits, gym equipment, whatever you might have around your home that has been rusted. If this is your first time to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. On this Dad's Old House series, I just go over useful information that I have found through owning my home for over a decade, oftentimes through making a whole number of mistakes. The idea is that this information may be beneficial to you and may help save you from making the same mistakes as well. So right off the bat, the quickest and easiest way to remove rust by far is going to be using vinegar. Why is it the quickest and easiest? It is cheap, it is effective, it is something that you have around your house, and honestly, it's gonna work very, very well. I will say that the longer you leave whatever you have rusted in the vinegar, the better off you're gonna be. Usually I cap it at about 24 hours. There are a few other products or things that you can do. Namely, you can add your plain old table salt to the vinegar. A chemical reaction occurs, basically making the vinegar more effective with removing rust. I will try to put up some of that science behind here, but if you've ever done a copper penny experiment with your children trying to remove some of that old rust and you've used salt and vinegar, you know it is highly effective. And thankfully, you've got a lot of salt just lying around, not something you necessarily have to buy. The third option that you can do is go down to the hardware store and get yourself something like this. This is called Iron Out. The reason you would use this, which is a powdered form that you can mix with water or you can even make a paste, is that there are some instances where you need a lot of liquid and you might not want to have to go buy 5 or 10 gallons of vinegar. You can just buy this and then dilute it with water to make the equivalent amount of liquid you need to cover your item that is rusted. Also, there are often places that you can't just soak in vinegar. You can make a paste out of this, put it on, wait a couple of hours, and then take it off as well. Now, once you have left that product in the vinegar or Iron Out, as the case may be, for 4 to 24 hours, you're going to want to take it out and scrub it down. Depending on how badly it is rusted, if it's not rusted too badly, you might be able to get away with just a little bit of a brush here as so. Or if it's really rusted through and you want to make sure you do the best job possible, you can use steel wool. So once you put in that elbow grease to scrape off any of the residual rust, you want to rinse that item really well with water. You really want to rinse it super thoroughly in order to get off any of the Iron Out or the vinegar off that product to basically stop that reaction. Once it has been rinsed and rinsed and rinsed, you want to dry it down so that it is nice and bone dry and ready to be used as it was before it got all rusty.
Tomorrow.
So it has been nearly 24 hours and it is time to finally pull all of these items out of the vinegar base that we have and the vinegar salt Iron Out concoction that we made here for that dumbbell. I will say I got the gloves on and the eye protection and some old clothes just to prevent damage to the eyes or clothes. So just pulling these out already, I can see from the tools that they look a ton better. Now, if these were really bad, I would use the steel wool, but I think I'm going to be able to get away with just using this brush. One of the nice things about setting up a bath like this is that if you do have a lot of stuff that is in need of rust removal, you can actually save this and reuse it. It's still going to be good for some time later or just tomorrow when I dump that dumbbell in here. But let's pull this out with all my might and see what we've got. You can see in this clear side-by-side comparison, remember, these were identical 85-pound dumbbells that had the same exact rust patterns on them, the same exact age, the same exact everything, that this one is devoid, removed of rust. It was in the bath of vinegar, salt, and iron out for less than 24 hours. We pulled it out, rubbed it down nice and hard with this steel wool, and then dried it off. And you can absolutely see that all of the rust has been removed. This is a great place to start for refurbishing this dumbbell. Our next step is going to be twofold. Number one, wash this down to clear off any type of residual film from the bath off of it, dry it up completely, and then we will be able to prime it and paint it and basically put it back into rotation in the home gym. And the second step is going to be to put this one in the same exact bath that we pulled the other one out of. That vinegar bath of iron out and salts can be reused. It doesn't have to be dumped out or trashed immediately. It absolutely has future value if we just hold on to it. We're gonna dump this in it and reuse it, and then we're gonna go around the house looking for other items that may be rusted and may be in need of refurbishing. Clearly, the easiest, fastest, and most effective way to remove rust around your home is going to be with just simple white vinegar. But I will say, if you have a bigger object, you might want to consider grabbing yourself some iron out as well. I'll drop a link to that into the description below. Hopefully you found this video effective, informative, and hopefully it gave you some ideas on ways to remove rust around your home. If you came this far in the video, do me a huge favor, give this video a like, hit the subscribe button. As usual, thank you for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. This channel is dedicated to my life as a father of 2 wonderful children, and it centers around health, fitness, and all of the tricks and tribulations that I go through to try to be a great parent to my children and still accomplish my own personal goals.